What's up guys, my name's Evan with the band Famous Last Words and you're watching Gear Masters. So we're going to run down through our live rig right now. Everything we do on stage runs out of this bad boy right here. We've got the Axe effects running through some Matrix power amps for our guitar stuff. All our tones are preset per song, per the track, and then controlled through automated switching via MIDI. This is basically the brains of our whole show right here. We run all our backing tracks, our production, and like I said, the automated switching for our Axe effects come through here. Everything feeds back through Firewire, through the back where the spaghetti happens, through Personas, Fire Studios. We go in, get all of our ins and outs, come back out, run all of our production back. This feeds all the cabs, feeds our in-ear monitors from here. Massive cables, that is our in-ear split. We split off for front of house as well, so that we take all the symbols on stage that we want to hear, and then we feed the lines back to front of house afterwards. So we hear everything before you hear everything. So we hear it exactly like that. So the reason I chose the Axe effects over something like maybe a Kemper or using a real amp, when we started, the real amps, the trouble with that, you got tubes inside, you have circuitry that can go bad, they can take a fall, they can die on you, stuff can happen. With these, it's all computer based, we can back everything up to a thumb drive, and if one of these dies, all I have to do is plug that in and we have all our presets. We have different tones for different songs. Some heavier songs have a little more high gain, some of the lighter songs have clean with a lot of reverbs and delays. So it just gives us a lot more tonal options, a lot more effects. We don't have to tap dance around pedal boards. If you look at the front of the stage, we don't have any pedal boards. Nobody has to step on anything during the set. It's all automated on-off. All our effects switch for us. Makes our jobs a lot easier. All we have to do is headbang and look like idiots on stage. So for wireless, we split it up between Sennheiser and Line 6. Tyler and myself both run Sennheiser wireless units, the Evolution G series. I just feel like it's a little bit truer, it's a little more stable. Matt runs a Line 6 G90. It's a digital relay base. So that actually has a whole different thing. It doesn't go off UHF or VHF. It's a digital I don't know what the word is. It's an all digital based system. So it actually has less dropout in some places, but some dropout in some places. But we do our best to sweep for channels and make sure we get the best ones possible so that we don't have any issues when we're playing. So the cabs we run on stage, both guitars come through orange 412 cabs. Tyler runs his loaded with vintage Celestion Vintage 30s. I run mine with GT75s, a little bit higher power handling, a little bit different tone, just so you're not hearing the exact same thing come off both sides of the stage. Matt runs an Ampeg SVT 810. It's kind of the go-to if you've got a rock bass and you want to have the refrigerator on stage. So you really can't go wrong with an Ampeg if you're playing rock music. It's kind of the go-to. So this is one of my guitars that I play on stage. It's actually an Esp Eclipse that I had a friend of mine refinish and fill in and kind of modify for me for playing more on stage. His name's KLR Made on Instagram, go check him out. He filled in the neck pickup, he filled in all the controls that I don't use, the switch that I would just hit and turn my sound off on accident. So he really just made this like a player's guitar for the stage. You can beat it up, you can throw it around. It's been buckle rashed, it's been dropped, it's been slammed, and it still sounds like the best guitar and plays like the best guitar I've ever had. So for pickups on this guitar, I use a Seymour Duncan JB. It's got that right rock sound to it. It's not too compressed, it doesn't have that same compression that sometimes you get with an EMG or sometimes you get with more active pickups. It's got some life to it, it's got some dynamic to it. So it really just lets me play the guitar instead of just having one tone. I can kind of switch back and forth. And especially when we go to like a clean tone or like I have some more delicate leads to play, it's got a much warmer tone to it than say like an EMG or another active style pickup. As far as strings go, we all play Ernie Ball Cobalts. Tyler and I both use a custom set with a wound third. Difference is when you're playing a heavier string and you've got a plain third, this just becomes a tone dead cable. It doesn't have any sound to it at all, so we actually get Ernie Ball to send us our strings custom put together so that we can play them the best we can. Matt uses Ernie Ball Cobalts as well. He just plays a 5-string set, and there's Matt right there.
I love my Cobalt strings, seriously, Ernie Ball, I love you guys. I will never play anything else. Thank you.
Since we are tuned kind of low in some of our songs, we take a 5-string set for bass and we just ditch the high G string and then tune from there. So we do have a much heavier low end. Tyler and I both use, I think, like a 56 to an 11. So it's a pretty beefy string, but it's still not unplayable, so it's nice. So the Eclipse I use in our drop C tuning. So that's kind of like my go-to standard tuning for this band. So So also on stage, instead of tuning and trying to go between tunings on the same guitar, we all actually run 3 different guitars on stage. So you already saw my Eclipse run through. This is a Ibanez Black Label that Cam, once again, did the refinish job on. He's down there killing the game in Florida. I've got a black tri pickup in the bridge on this one. This is a buddy of mine, Mike Moses, out of Michigan. He hand makes his own pickups. He kind of takes the tonality of the wood and the tonality of the guitar and the sound you want to go for with him and kind of blends it together and winds the pickups custom on that. So this one rips. I use this one for tuning in B, where you're kind of in that middle. You're not super low where you're going to start losing sound and start losing that tonality, but you're not high enough to have a standard pickup really pick up for you. This behemoth, I actually made this guitar myself. This is a baritone Fender Tele Strata something or other. I tuned this down to A, but instead of having to go giant strings that just don't play well, I opted to do an extremely long scale on the guitar. So it tends to keep the string tension without having to go to giant strings. When you tune down to A, when you tune real low, you tend to get these floppy, rubbery strings. So it really helps keep the play and the feel of the guitar. In this one, I've got a DiMarzio Titan in the bridge. It's really a mid-focus style pickup, so it really helps in a lower tuning to really bring out the notes instead of it just being a wash of mud and noise. So it really helps to let the notes come through the mix.
What's up, guys? My name is Matt with Famous Last Words. I'm going to run you through a little bit about what I got going with my basses. This is it's a little dirty right now, forgive me, I'm about to clean them. But I got Fender Jazz. It's a 1989 reissue of a 75 Fender Jazz Japanese bass. I refinished it before this tour, threw new EMG jacks in it, sireless pickup setup. I love it. It's been awesome on me. I also play LTD. ESP has been awesome with us. Definitely my other favorite bass to play. Here I got my LTD from ESP. It's a Frank Bello custom. You know, my last name is Bell, so it's almost like I got my own custom bass. Maybe someday we'll figure it out. But again, EMGs, I love the tone. I would describe my tone as hitting like a metal trash can with a baseball bat and then a train comes by and takes it out. The EMGs did come standard with this LTD Jazz and P and J setup here. Pretty basic, but I love it. I can't go wrong with it. Easy to maintain. Love it. Also want to give a shout out to Scott Dixon. These cases have been amazing. Honestly, makes traveling so easily. The portability in it, can't beat it. I mean, everything's right there in my case. Seriously, Scott Dixon, thank you. So my Ibanez I use for A, and basically I go right down the line. I have A, playing B, and then C with my Fender. So having the different tunings on each guitar definitely makes it easier to maintain my strings. I was tuning between B and A for a while, and I noticed that I was just killing my strings, so that just makes it so much easier on me.